Shop builds, shop builds, shop builds. Best way to practice skills, actually get something built, and build your shop out. Let's get some tables built. Some good assembly tables. In fact, let's build 2. So you see these 2 doors? I got them for free. I got them off of Craigslist. They're like almost 7 feet tall. They're almost 3 foot wide. They're 1.5 inches thick, and they are slick and heavy. They weigh like 100 pounds each. They are perfect for assembly tables, glue up tables. They're good for work surfaces. I can wheel them out into the yard for the barbecue and put a tablecloth on them. Now this right here, this is cull wood. You might notice the spray paint that's over it, the pink and blue spray paint. This is the stuff you need to look for at the big box stores. You know, they'll usually just throw it in a big pile in the very back of the lumber section. The Honest Carpenter actually has a great video about this. I'll try to link it in the description below. I actually lucked out with these. They were mostly straight. And even if the cull wood you find has dramatic bends in it, go ahead and buy it. It's usually like 70% off or 50% off. And even if it's got some cracks here or if it's got some real weird wonky bends, you know, use the really bent pieces, cut them short. You'll end up cutting those bends out of the wood and they'll be great. When you make one cut, use that cut. If you're doing it like a bunch of repeating cuts, use that one to measure all the rest. Let's say you make a mistake and it's an 1/8 inch off or a 1/16 inch off. And that could put a lean on your table. It just depends. You could have some compounding errors. But if you use one piece to measure all the rest of those repeated pieces, what you're going to end up having is consistency. So these 2 tables are going to have basically square ends. They're going to be super strong. I mean, I'm using 2x8s here. There's going to be plenty of strength. I'm using pocket holes, and pocket holes, honestly, are some of the best joints you can have for shop furniture. There's really no need to have mortise and tenon joining for most shop furniture because at the end of the day, it has to work. You're using your shop furniture to build other better stuff. I mean, building shop furniture can be a lot of fun. I actually like building shop furniture. I like building jigs. But when I want to build something that I want to last forever, it's not going to be shop furniture. You know, it's going to be something I put in the house. It's going to be something I sell. It's going to be something that's going to look really good. It's not going to be made out of like construction grade cull wood. Save your joinery for that kind of stuff. I mean, if you want to practice joinery and you say, you know, I've got a shop build, I might as well practice on that. Sure, because honestly, shop builds are where you can make all your mistakes because it doesn't matter. As long as it works at the end, and if you screw up your joints, put a screw into it, get it right to where it'll stay, and call it a day. Go on, get it done. Sometimes done is better than perfect. It just is, especially with stuff like this. When you're putting together a pocket hole joint, don't keep, pulling that trigger until your drill just bottoms out. Because a lot of times what can happen, especially with softer pine, is that screw will just keep on going and split out your pocket hole. When the joint gets tight, stop. You've hit the bottom for the most part. I mean, you can check it. You can actually see a lot of times, and there are other things you can do. I mean, like for instance, I'm using construction screws. Those aren't technically the right screws, but if all I have is construction screws, I'm not going to make a special trip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use some washers, turn them into basically panhead screws, which is what you're supposed to use, and call it a day. But I'm not even using washers here. I'm just, by feel, and this is what comes with experience, and this is what comes from building shop furniture. I'm just stopping before I blow out the holes. I ended up running out of wood, the cull wood for this build, because I figured it's like, man, I should cut these stretchers at the bottom just to give my legs some extra stability. And if you notice in the bottom left-hand corner here, that brown wood, that's actually some pine that I salvaged out of a closet at some point. And it's kind of gross and stuff like that, but it's fine for shop furniture. It's going to be fine for those legs. I didn't even cut it down to make sure it's the same width as all the rest of them. I just made sure it's the right length. These casters, right from Harbor Freight, they cost about $4.96 a piece, or round it up to $5. And I had to have 8 of them. I spent about $20 on wood, $7 in screws. Let's round it all up with tax to $70. I built 2 shop tables for around $70. You're going to notice a mistake I make here, though. You might want to check the holes and make sure that your screws don't go all the way through. But I fixed it really easily. I just got some bigger washers. I mean, at the end of the day, your screws are not there to add any real support. It's just to keep the casters in place. And one of the best ways you can also do this is don't drive them straight down. Drive them in at an angle. And there's plenty of clearance, especially with bigger casters like this. I do enjoy putting bigger casters on my builds, not just because, they're big, but they give good height clearance. They can roll over stuff a little bit easier, like extension cords. The smaller your caster is, the more likely you're just going to get stopped in your tracks, like literally. Oh, look at this guy. Right on the struggle bus. That door was heavy. Again, it's a shop build. I'm trying to get it even on all sides, basically using the tape measure. I'm putting 2 or 3 screws in each end just to make sure the top doesn't move. Nice little weight test there. Yep. That's probably the heaviest amount of anything that's going to be put on those, honestly. The big fat white tub of lard there. Balding one too. And lo and behold, the 2 shop tables not only fit underneath my shelf, they fit perfectly together, from one end of my shop to the next built-in. All right, I'll see y'all next time.